What is going on, everybody out there? Welcome to DC Adventure. I am your host, Crypto Michael. We have Nim coming in with us in like a minute or two. He was out changing the uh, the brakes on his car, and I was like, I called him and like it was like 5 till, and I was like, "Yo, bro, what you doing?" And he was like, "Oh crap, I'm changing the brakes on my car, man. Let me do my quick lap around the block." And I'll be there in like 10 minutes. I said, alright, that's cool. I'll start stream up and everything like that. So he'll be joining us here rather shortly. So freaking awesome. FA Iron Maiden-esque intro music. Heck yeah, Oyster. I love it. Does anyone mind with an R9 390? I have not, but it is totally doable. Let me know how the audio sounds, guys, because it is me streaming, so we are up to the mercy of my laptop tonight and the rest of the people in my household. Yeah, just me for now. Crypto, but Nim should be in here in like I don't know, a couple of minutes. He just had to drive his car around the block to test to make sure his brakes are working order, and then he'll be in here. Audio's good, cool. Glad to hear it. I wonder about this laptop sometimes when it comes to streaming. I'm like, is it still gonna cut it? It's got a with an Intel i5. I'm not sure of the generation. It's got a Core i5 and a GTX 1050 Ti with, I think, 8 gigabytes of RAM is what was in it. I've since bumped it up to 16, of course, but other than that, everything else is stock. Had this laptop since, oh man, since I started my crypto journey. It's been my gaming laptop for a while. Ten fifty is life. You good to go, dude? 1050 Ti is life. I love it. It does pretty well. I just wish I had another monitor right now. That's what I'm like. It's hurting me the most is that I'm stuck to this one screen, so it's hard to like do much else. Love the 1050 Ti's. Yeah, it's been a solid laptop for quite a while. Only thing that I have had issues with is the Bluetooth adapter inside of it going out intermittently whenever it feels like it. Other than that, it's been solid. Been pretty solid. Anybody score any of those 6600 XTs this morning that I posted that were for sale on Newegg? I was sent the link and I forwarded it the fast I could, and I I was leaving the house to go take care of stuff and then get ready for streaming, and I didn't purchase one, and I should have just waited and bought it, but I didn't. So no, I missed it. Yeah, I was not able to. I mean, they were Sapphire Nitros. Pretty good. Pretty good deal. Basically MSRP. And you were limited to a maximum of 5 per household. Could almost got a 4 or 5 card rig like right off the bat for a couple $1,000s. Disable power management in dev, man. For what? For the Bluetooth? No, like sometimes you'll like boot the computer and it won't even, the Bluetooth adapter won't even come on. Also, do R9 390s come with thermal pads? Yes. I mean, I would, they should. I don't know why they wouldn't. Against the backplate, I have no idea. But I know for sure. I'll reseat it too. Oh yeah, for sure. But whenever I go in, I need to like go into it and like do like a full re-clean, and you know, it's been a while since it's been opened. Uh, and I want to install like a new an extra hard drive in it. Does brand of thermal pads matter? Sometimes. Sometimes it does matter. Uh, I mean, it really just depends on watts per meter Kelvin that they cool. I always go with the thermal grizzlies, the minus 8 pads. I've never had any issues with those. They are by far my favorite. Except for if I'm working on my FPGA, I run with the Fiji pads. They are really expensive, but they do the job very well. I tried to convince Nim to get Fiji pads on his 3090. He wouldn't do it. Fiji pads on 3090 would be killer. Looks like the pads were removed. I mean, put pads on it. If you're talking about the memory modules. Yeah, I just said it. Oyster. Thermal Grizzly. Minus 8 pads. Is that Fiji pads like the islands? Yes. It's Fiji like the islands. They are really expensive. Like really expensive. It costed me almost $200 to rethermal pad my single FPGA. It's like I wouldn't recommend those, like unless you buy them in bulk. If you're like buying for like a single application, they're expensive. They are white. Yeah, the Fiji pads are white. Yep. Fiji pads are white. Okay. Fiji thermal pads. Right here. Fuji polys. Whatever. Fuji. So not like the island, I guess. Technically. It's FUJI. But they are. This is like best of the best. They are very expensive. Very expensive. Uh, Cash money, man. Yeah. But the FPGA needs it, so. So these are what I use. I use like these. Like this is what I use for my GPUs. They're great pads. Um, I forget what the why was this decibel noises? Why would thermal pads be noisy? I've never seen these before. But -8, man. Yeah, sheets. Yeah, I buy them in sheets for sure. I bought my Fuji Poly one in like a sheet. Yeah, yeah. Just buy it in the sheet for sure. Let's see. 8, yeah. There we go. I mean, it makes sense. Minus pad 8s would be 8 watts per meter Kelvin. So, yeah. Should be. I mean, 2 strips enough for a GPU? Technically, yeah. You're not going to use you're going to end up cutting some of that anyway. But I usually buy like the big pack. Or I buy the sheet. The sheet is, sheets are the way to go if you can find it in the sheet. That stuff's the way to go. All the fans stopped working. Does it still post video, Goblin? But yeah, you can do like more than one. But you need to pay attention to the thickness. Look up your GPU and look at your pads if you already have them, because not all of these are the same thickness. This is 1 millimeter. These are 0.5 millimeters, 3 millimeter, 2 millimeters, 1.5s, 1. I usually use just the ones to be safe. If you need a 2, you can just, why cut it? Just put the whole pad on the backboard, right? Yeah, the 3Ms are heavy. Cost so much. I know, man. Seems like the prices of these went up too. Oh, look. Nim wants in the room. Let's let him in. It's a dude.
Yo.
It's a dude and stuff and things.
Mm-hmm.
Say what's up to the world.
Yo. Man, the time got away from me a little bit while I was doing the brakes on my truck. Go to replace a rubber fuel line, the rubber brake hose line, and all of a sudden, it decides that this leak on the steel line, which that took me a little bit to fish out, so I had front brakes. Next thing I know, it's dark out. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's what I was selling. So Goblin says it does pass the post test, but the fans, oh man, one of the fans on this card likes to change access, making the fade. Yeah, you need to replace the fans, man.
You got a case of the wobblies.
Yeah, you got a Mr. Weeble Wobbles. I had one of those
Right.
guys. I called him Mr. Wobbles. I let him wobble for a long time. And then I replaced.
Son of a tech let his wobble until it disappeared.
Yeah, it wobbled into the abyss. What's up, Sonya? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, just check. Replace your fans. Look up replacement fans for an R9 390. Look at your brand, etc.
Sorry, none of these will work for you.
Tames. Very. Sorry, my son bought an 02 Z71 today and drove. On the drive home, the transfer case started making a loud grinding noise. Had to tow it the rest of the way home.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Bought a lemon, huh? Jeez.
I would tell people, when you buy a used car, there was a problem on there that the original owner said, yep, that's the last straw. I'm not putting any more money into this.
Fix.
I'm not putting any more money into this. I'm trading it. And then you've got to figure out what it was.
Are the Arctic pads okay? They're way cheaper now. I mean, they're alright. We were talking about thermal pads before we came here. People were asking the differences between thermal pads, if there's one that's particularly better, the advantages, disadvantages, stuff like that. When we went over the Fiji pads, the Fuji poly pads, as well as the -8 pads, which prices have kind of gone up on those. A little ridiculous. Yeah.
I would say whatever
that hurt a little bit to watch. Uranus is acting
8,
about Arctic pads. Are they okay?
Yeah, because those have got like 8.6 watts per meter Kelvin, which anything above 8 watts per meter Kelvin on the heat, you're good to go.
Right.
Anything lower, no.
So here's what we were looking at. What are they? Alright. Yeah. Let's see. Alright, thermal pads.
There you go.
Yeah, low resources. I know, it's okay. Just ignore it, Zoom. That's 6.
Oh wow, those got 6 on them.
Yeah,
Damn.
6 on the Arctics.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Arctic MX4.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
The computer needs juice. Yeah, it needed juice. Well, I was already screen sharing via OBS, and then I screen shared via Zoom as well. My laptop was like, I don't like that.
Please feed me. Golden Wolf, we all have GPU addictions. Yeah. There is no GPU anonymous. It's just called buy more.
Nice. You got a 6600 XT and a 3090 or 3080 Strix. Nice. What's up, Ice Miner? How you doing, buddy? What up, MC?
Yo.
But I mean, the Arctic pads would be okay if you can't get anything else. They wouldn't be like, they're definitely gonna be better than the stock pads. Like, get go. Stock pads I think are usually 5. Is usually the standard is 5 watts per meter Kelvin. If I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah.
Could be 5, could be 6, but they're not gonna be bad. If you have ripped pads and you need pads and you can buy those like today, I'd buy them. Arctic thermal conductivity is 1.2 watts per meter Kelvin. Hardness, I don't know about 1.2 watts per meter Kelvin. If it is, that's not good.
No. That's the cheap one.
The one that I was just looking at was
6.
6. Yeah. There. And then won't be able to see it, but.
Jason Ataga Osborne's like, Nemesis made me hungry. I gotta go eat something. I've been working on breaks, and I worked right through dinner.
Yeah, see, this one's like $12.99, and it is a full-on pad. It's 50 by 50, 1.5 millimeters. So you can cut a couple of strips of these for your memory modules and etc.
Just make sure what millimeter size you need. Half a millimeter, 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these ones say 6.0 watts per meter Kelvin. So I don't know which ones you're looking at, but I wouldn't say they're like a bad option. There's definitely better. Volvo says, yeah, I have those too. I found the Arctic 6-watt too. Yeah, the Arctics are pretty good. I had to giggle when I read that. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, they're not bad. Like I said earlier, I use the -8 pads. Price has kind of gone up on those. So, kind of a bummer. Like I said, my FPGA has the Fuji poly pads. And, I mean, I would always recommend those to people, but they are expensive. They're not cheap.
If you can find them.
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon right now. They're just really expensive.
Yeah. You get them on Newegg too. Very expensive.
Even more expensive on Newegg.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Sonia's eating Bocelli's pizza.
Ooh.
Very nice. I need the best for my 3090. Buy Fuji pads. I tried to get him to buy Fuji pads for his 3090. He said no, not worth it.
Nah.
Which I get it. It's just the Fuji polys are like 11 watts per meter Kelvin. Exactly, man. They are awesome.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to get? You know, it's like the memory modules only are going to produce so much heat.
Yeah. I mean, I run them on my FPGA, so
that's different.
Kind of a need to basis on that one.
Yeah.
Do they get oily? No. My Fujis do not get oily. I haven't noticed any oil.
Ooh.
This is how I do it. Do it, man. Be the first. I use Fuji's too, for sure. Yeah, man. They're legit. See, mine's at 106 to 108 degrees, 24/7. Dude, there's something wrong with that freaking card. You showed me, you showed that last week, and I was like, that is ridiculous. Like, and it's just sitting there hashing happily. And I'm like, what? Like,
it's some of the reasons why some of the 3090s are known to fucking just die.
replace them with the Fuji pads and see what happens. The factory pads are cut smaller than the chips. Yeah, that has been very much talked about. Get it, man. Carne asada burrito. Dang, MC. Sounds good. I had fajitas tonight. My wife made. You can always change your tampons and face for sure. Yeah. Got to, man. They're saving money. Yeah. Yeah, they are, man. Yeah, the GDDR6X memory says they need all the help they can get. Yes. What up, helpful crypto miner? It says, yo. Y'all like the gifts?
Yo!
Heck yeah, I did.
Hell yeah! Yo!
Boom. So I was talking to him
Haven't
earlier.
had a chance to put it in yet.
So I was talking to him earlier. The R9 that you have there
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know what's wrong with it exactly. Also, the Bico miner, you were correct, needs a 5-volt barrel adapter that is missing.
Yes. I saw that one right away. I'm like, something's
The grid seed miner
not
works.
here. Yeah.
It works. It is a functioning device.
I noticed that.
And the Threadripper is unknown of cause of issue. He bought one and got two, and then when he put that one in, it didn't work. But the other one did, so they went with the other one. So doesn't know what is wrong with that one.
Oh, that's ominous.
Tech man, I had an extra
There's
screw in
not
my
much-
static bag. Like you had an extra screw like in the static bag when you bought the brand new card. Solid. I love that when you're assembling cars, you're putting cars back together and you have an extra bolt. And you're like, where did that come from? I don't remember that. Like, it fired up and it's running, so obviously things are good. I was not happy. I wouldn't be either, man. They just had an extra screw laying in the bag. It wasn't needed, right? I got an extra main bolt. I got it's called weight reduction. I actually contacted EVGA. What did they say? They say, no, surely that didn't happen. Show them pictures of it running at 100 and something degrees. All screws were accounted for, I'd assume. MC. Man, I'll tell you, those door locks are solid. Huh. There's just an extra screw laying in the bag. It's freaky. Is it one of the fan screws? Like one of the screws holding the fans on? Some of those have more than one fan screw, like holding the fan together, so one screw wouldn't be terrible. So he's ready to see the server GPU hashing. Dude, me too. I'm ready to see the Tesla working. And he said, nope, I looked down there too. That's crazy. And my thoughts for the Tesla is either I'm going to strap the Sanyo blower to it and force a bunch of cold air down it, or I'm going to use the old shell of the obelisk ASIC, like the micro shell that I have, because it has those fans in it, and it would be like a passive tunnel for it. But apparently some of the data that I was looking up last night on Livestream was incorrect, and I won't say what it is, but apparently it's not the card that we think it is. So you'll see soon. Spent $18.99 and got 1 free screw. Oh, it's so nice of them. So nice of them. So yeah. Get like 1 to 2 mega hashes. Boom boom. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, like ask away. Well, yeah, I can't like really mess with my laptop while I'm streaming, so I don't have like a second screen or anything, so it makes it a little difficult.
Womp
Yeah,
womp.
it's whatever.
Right.
So we're rolling out of here at the hour mark tonight. So mad I forgot to. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get everything set up, and I was like, dang, my camera died last night, and I didn't charge the battery.
Oh, way to go.
I pulled it out and everything. Didn't
Fail.
charge it.
Fail.
Pulled the battery out, but never made it to the actual charger. Yeah, terrible. It's terrible. Oh man. Hopefully stream's doing alright. Looks like it's lagging a little bit. Just a little bit. Quit Discord. When you're busy, it happens. We all do it. Ain't that the truth, man? Seen you message me, Chains. I'll check that after stream. I can't really get to it right now, unfortunately. Actually, I'm gonna plug in my phone right now. Do it. Do it. Something about a 6600 Nitro, Sapphire Nitro Plus. A store? Selling one? That's what it looks like. What, guys? No questions? Nothing?
Right.
Just a bunch of FAs? And chocolate covered crush crickets? Oh. Checkman says, any recommendations on a seller for H110 retention clips? Like the ones that are Well, so we'll go right over the PCI, like the one by one slots that hold them down. Is that what you're talking about? Let's see. Alright, I'll look at it, James. Says, "Ma'am, are you gonna do any videos on the grid seed miner?"
Yeah, I certainly will. I certainly will. Probably this week, just because things calm down on my end, I can actually start getting back to making videos again.
Yeah, I actually have a bunch of those retention clips, Tech Man. Mine worked for the H110. I printed them with my 3D printer. I'll see how many I have extra. I printed off a whole bunch of them. Goblin says, "When I change the thermal compound on my 3090, should I use silver 5, right? Or not the
No,
MX4? No, you need to use the MX4.
yeah, no silver.
MX5 good.
That's conductive.
MX4 good, MX5 is good. Supposedly MX5 is better than the MX4. I haven't tested it, and there's not much data out there on the MX5. It's still pretty new. But I would imagine it's better than the MX4. But MX4 for the win, like always. Running like 6 each. Okay. I definitely have I should definitely have like 6 to 12 of them. Like laying around. Have you tried the thermal grizzly paste? The thermonaut paste is pretty good. Just not the one that's like, what is it? Is it liquid metal? Is that the thermal grizzly one? I forget which one of them is like basically it's the silver version of.
Conductinaut.
Yeah. Just don't buy that one. But thermal grizzly paste is good.
I like the grizzly. I like the hydronaut.
There's an MX5? Yeah, there is an MX5. Cryonaut. Yeah. Yeah, Techman. So MX4 preferred over Grizzly? For sure. MX4 is like the best. Technically, if you replace your stuff with MX4, you shouldn't have to change it again. At least for the lifetime of your GPU. But it's better that you do. Have you guys tried the KP3? I have not tried the KP3. Tech Jesus squirts cryonaut everywhere. Yes, he does. He puts so much on his stuff that it drives me crazy. I got some liquid metal, but for CPUs, yep, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine on a CPU. Just can't use that on a GPU. That's conductive. But it is safe to use MX4 and like MX5 and Aquanaut, all those other pastes. So it's safe to use those on CPUs as well. It's just a one-way street with the silver compounds because they are conductive. Kingpin's KPX. I have not tried the KPX, but that stuff is amazing. I mean, obviously they do overclock testing with it.
Yeah, that's
And
for normal usage. The KPX does not work well.
for overclocking, it does great. It's good stuff.
It's not made to be like
it
it's
gets
made
hard.
to go cold, not hot.
Yeah, that stuff gets like real. It gets real hard. It doesn't. Definitely doesn't do its job if you like leave it for a long time. Arctic Silver on all my CPUs and PS3. Nice. Tech man. I'm gonna. Our Gold Wolf says I'm gonna stop typing. He's having a hard time typing tonight. Yeah, I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't use it for like mining. If you're gonna change your paste every couple of months, maybe. Wait, so conductive compound is okay for APUs and game consoles? Yes. Because it's a CPU. Technically. So yes. So using like Arctic Silver, you can use on your like consoles. When I used to rebuild like Xbox 360s and mod them, that's what I would use. This Arctic Silver is good forever. It is good forever. Yeah, I was just asking. I was watching a Devour video the other day. Yeah, the stuff's good, man. Like, don't get me wrong. But if you want to like paste your cards and then not have to touch them for a year or even 2, I wouldn't use it. Anything with a flat heat spreader, you good. Open dies, no. Correct. That is correct, Techman. Open dies is a no-no for conductive thermal paste. Once I run out of a MX4, I'm gonna try the MX5 though. I usually just buy like a nice, good sized syringe of the MX4, and it lasts for quite a while. What up, Yashnik?
Yo, Yashnik.
Okay, I'll stay away. Yeah, it's definitely meant for just like overclocking and using LN2 pots and stuff like that. Because that stuff gets cold. You can't use like Arctic Silver on stuff like that. Gets too cold. Oh my gosh, all the dogs are barking. The little Yorkie that is my mother-in-law's is a interesting little ballsy dog. Though my boxer's a puss. Heck yeah. It's good to see you, Yashi.
Right, for sure.
Glad you're back around. For sure. Arctic Silver needs about 200 hours to cure. 200 hours? I don't know about 200. Summertime, right? Out having a good old time. Trying to find server PSUs this week. Not having any luck, huh? Here and there.
Oh, this this chip that HelpFul sent me, like, now that I'm like kind of like looking at it and stuff, it's not normal. Usually it says Threadripper or Ryzen somewhere on the chipset. This is almost like this is usually how I see engineering samples.
Techno says I want the parallel miner ZSX board. Yeah, I don't do server PSUs, guys. It's not my forte. Goldwolf says they lap it. Yeah, that's a good question. Do they lap it? Is there swirl marks?
No, not on this. I mean, I can still see all the labeling on it. It's just it just says AMD, and then it's got serial numbers on it, a little QR code, and then some more numbers below it. My Threadripper in there says Ryzen Threadripper on it. That's weird. I mean, and it's in a Threadripper case on it.
It's just goes the PSU. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of server PSUs. Not as like as a home miner. They serve a good purpose, but my rigs have been in my house for the longest time, so server PSUs are not the way to go for me. So they do have their place though, but I don't use them. I don't even use it on my RevTech board. My RevTech board utilizes a regular ATX power supply, gold standard. Power the RevTech board with a 6-pin from PCIe on the power supply, and I just use a motherboard tester plug to fool the power supply and thinking that it's plugged into the motherboard. Has that jumper wire in it. So I just power, as soon as I flip the switch on the power supply, it powers on the RevTech and launches. The miner and everything. I have a 750 that sounds like a vacuum. Gross. Oyster says you need a special motherboard for the Threadripper, right?
Yes.
That is correct. Golden says you might have an engineering sample.
That's what I'm thinking. This is like, that's what I was just saying. I'm like, usually whenever I see them with no product detail on here, it's usually an engineering sample of some sort.
That's pretty cool. Means it might only work with a certain motherboard.
Not sure. I mean, I'll put it into my rig to see what happens when it turns on. It's different.
Yeah, I have an extra obelisk power supply, but all of their power connectors are all 6 pins. So I'd have to buy the jumpers for 6 to 8. Golden Wolf says scan the QR code with your phone.
Yeah, could do that.
That,
If it pulls up anything.
that should tell you everything.
Possibly.
My sister-in-law's boyfriend says that some of the newer Mercedes that they're doing now, almost every single part has a QR code, like, on the part. Like, literally every part. Cast it onto it if they needed to. So that way they can just, anyone, literally anyone can identify the part. And what it is and what it does.
Nice.
Well, that's kind of cool. Making it easier for people that are like at-home mechanics. Or want to be able to fix something small. I'm like, oh, this broke, but I don't know or even know what it is. Let me scan this QR code on the part. I'm like, oh, hey, look at this. Mercedes NFTs, every part is on the blockchain. That'd be interesting. 751 HP. Big yawn. That's pretty interesting. Jeez, they definitely marked those cards uptains. That's for sure. That card this morning on Newegg was like 500. This is $50 more. Never heard of this though. Looks like some just like random pop-up store. I'm doing alright, actually. I am ready for this friggin' house to be done. It's gonna be the death of me. Literally. Quite freaking literally. What's the QR code say?
It doesn't say either. Pulls up the like a part number of some sort.
He says Poker Tourney is coming. Is that the one that we were talking that you invited me to? Is that the next one? Right? Or is that a different one? When is the poker tournament, Yashnik? October 9th. Okay. Dang, then what am I then what's on the 13th? Don't answer that. I'll just read I'll just read more of the message. So much to do, Yashnik. I need more time in the day. Can you do that for me? I still don't know how to play poker. I just kind of roll with it. Oh, well, yes, of course. I know, Yashing. Fuck, man. I have so much to do. Okay, just different. It's a different stream. Okay, got it. Got it. Never mind. Completely different stream. Alright. I'll read through the rest of that message. Yeah, Yashing. Totally different, yes. It's totally different. Oh my gosh. Nefarious. What in the world, man? He says, today's lesson, boys and girls, don't plug two 3060 Ti's into a single power output. After 6 months, it will melt.
Yeah.
So you
Everybody
put...
keeps telling me that, but I'm commanding it to 100 watts. It should handle this. No.
So you're telling me you powered two 3060s off of the same power cable? Like, it splits into into two 8-pins. You powered two 3060 Ti's of that same strand. That's a big no-no. That's a huge no-no. Only one strand is capable of, what, 250 watts? Theoretically. Technically more. But for 6 months. Melted today. Jeez, man. Don't do that. That's bad. Yep, trying to push the line. Only risers, yeah. Yeah, only risers. I would power two risers off the same strand all day. I do that all day anyway. He said bad nefarious. Yes, bad nefarious. Are the GPUs okay? Says Gallo. For sure. Are those GPUs okay? Was it just the plug? Melty cable prize for you. GPUs and risers are fine. Nice. I'm glad they're fine. So is the motherboard melted out the plug. Oh my gosh. Please, someone think about the non-LHR GPUs. Yeah, I think about them. Jeez. That's insane, Fairies. Don't do that, bro. Did you learn your lesson? Eh. Yeah, happy day. Yeah, just another day. We've all been there. We all fucking weekends once in a while. That's true, Yasmin. That is true. It's alright. First rush will be rolling out of here anyway. Or over an hour anyway. So, yeah. Guys, don't do that. Don't power two 3060 Ti's off of the same power cable. That's a big no-no. Just because, like Nim said, just because you are making the card pull less wattage via the software, any kind of software, if anything was to happen, that card is going to pull full TDP at some point in time in its life. And too much of that is a bad thing. So, can be a bad thing. Sometimes, things don't actually badly happen, you know what I mean? But sometimes they do. I agree, Goblin. Be sure to smash the like button on the way out. And the subscribe button and that bell notification. Every time that we go live here on the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to join the Discord, link is down below in the description. We would greatly appreciate that as well. If you want behind the scenes footage, knowledge and any footage and questions to anybody in the mining space, building a brand, or even trading, join the Patreon. We greatly appreciate all of you guys. Thank you all for coming out. Much love, everyone. Yes, much love. Have a good night. Keep your hashes up, guys. Them watts low. GPU mine safely. That's for sure. Any closing words, Nim?
Nope.
Like, nope, I'm still here researching.
Yep, always.
He's like, I'm reading. So, we'll catch you all later, guys. Have a good one. Peace out. Much love. See you next time.